Working in the Margins. Dealing with our challenges, assessing needs, and finding solutions. Short-term, mid-range, and long-term. Solutions can find us working in the margins. Today's world is a tough baseline. It's more difficult than ever to just exist or get by. And it's not getting any easier. Moving forward in today's world has become both an art and a science. Food, clothing, temporary shelter, long-term housing, short-term jobs, temporary employment, or long-range careers. It all takes some help and finesse. Not everyone can do it. It's an art and a science. And let's face it, not everyone is a scientist. Some people need more help than others. The basics like reliable transportation, internet, laundry, a regular shower, even water, those basics we all take for granted. Electricity, these are the challenges of those caught in the net. Are homeless, unhoused, housing challenged, living in the margins. People of all ages, young, middle-aged, senior citizens, entire families, male, female, all reasons and all walks of life. Anyone can find themselves living in the margins. Homelessness and the challenges that go with it are not going away, and we can't ignore them. It's just too expensive. We've got to do better. Take the next step forward. Tune in now and listen to Working in the Margins.
Hello, San Bernardino. How's it going, Inland Empire? This is Shazette. I am with Family Assistance Program, and you have joined Working in the Margins. This is a weekly podcast radio show on KCAA, our local radio station, KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. We hail from the great and wonderful officers of Teamsters 1932. We're on Sierra and 4th, and we are in the Randy Kamick building. That's where the offices for the studio are. If you ever want to come down and call Mark Westwood, he'll give you a tour and probably a spiel on why you should get your own show. So you can find us right now on YouTube. We are on KCAA TV. And you can call in if you want. I'll take phone calls. We're talking about some good stuff today. My original title for this edition, for this show, was going to be The Defunding of America.
Why don't you remind some of the listeners all the numbers they can call if they want to call
I will. 909-383-1000 or 909-383-8000 or 909-383-9000. So, give us a call. We can talk about stuff. Share how you are coping in these times, it's hard for some, it's not hard for all. But most of the folks that I know, they are struggling with just some of the whiplash things that are going on with our economy, with our government, with our legislation. Some new things that are happening in our communities that are discomforting for a lot of our populations. The kidnapping of people off of our streets for not having the documentation that this country says that they need to be here. Separations of families and so there's a lot of heavy things going on in the community and in this current iteration of our administration, our federal government. And so it's enough, I guess, just to be inundated with news every day. And here, it's on your links, it's on your tubes, it's on your feeds, I'm guilty of doom scrolling, everybody. I'm guilty. So don't be ashamed, but we got to do something else because it'll mess with your head when you can't, when everything is just bad news. Nobody can take that. It's just too much. So today is the self-care edition. I want to talk to you all about what that means I want to help. I love people. I just love people in general. I love humans. I love the human condition that we're experiencing right now. It's just it's teaching us so many different things that I hope will last, well into the future about how we're supposed to treat each other, how we're supposed to treat ourselves, what our expectations should be for each other. What does it really mean when you hear "I am my brother's keeper"? What does that really mean to you? I know what it means to me, but I want you to sit with that for a little bit and talk and think about that. But again, I want to. We're living in this fast-paced world, y'all. The pressure is out there to constantly succeed and achieve and do and be perfect. And you can't fail, and you can't make too much money, and you can't not make too much money. And it's all overwhelming. It's overwhelming. And it's no surprise that mental health issues are like on the rise with stress, anxiety, burnout. All that's becoming too common because there's so much. We can only take so much at a time. But I want to ask you, what is self-care to you? What does that mean? I know what it means for me. Taking care of myself physically, emotionally, mentally. Is recognizing that I need to take time to address those things and keep those things and not putting other people over. We have especially as social service workers and social workers, we put ourselves last. Most of us in this field are women, first of all, and moms, because that's how those skills as a mom and a woman and a mom and a caretaker are the skills that are like the first 5 or 6 skills when it comes to being a social service worker. So it's natural to moms and and some dads too, and men. I wish there were more men in social services, but there's a lot of women, and I think it's sad, but I think it's an organic thing that has just happened over time, is that we do not put ourselves first. We take care of our families, we take care of our partners and our spouses. And it seems selfish sometimes to want to take time out for yourself because you're like, I got to take care of, dad and baby and teenagers and, and aging grandparents, and I had to go to work. And I gotta also help bring in money, to take care of my family, And I know because I've lived this experience for a while now. I know a lot of other people that have lived this experience too. And the burnout is real, y'all. The crash outs are real, and I understand them, and I sympathize with y'all. But let's talk about some things that we could do. I want to, let me help a little bit where I can. I'm going to use this platform because I care about people, and I want folks to know that they don't have to, that they're not alone, going through, some of these changes and how you're reacting or how you feel. There's other people that are reacting and they feel the same way. I like to think that I am a vigilant person about justice, equity, equality, not being racist, not being misogynistic, not being judgmental. Those are the things. That's me. What I am. That's my beliefs. That's how I feel about things. And I think that that's important to keep in mind when we are dealing with each other. Everybody's going through something. I seen that on a post on my threads. Be nice because everybody's going through something that you may not know about. And that's true, But we're all going through some type of experience. Like right now, I know that I am not the only 58-year-old Black woman in America that's feeling like her family is just passing away at increasing rates. This is going to happen as we get older. It's to be expected, but you just can never prepare for it. But the anxiety that comes around that, I feel like, you got to live every moment for those folks that weren't able to get, to a ripe old age, or, living up to those parents, to their what they expected of you, to make them proud, that we put a lot of undue pressure on ourselves sometimes, I know my parents were proud of me when my whole life. They were my biggest cheerleaders. So I understand, and as far as like, am I making them proud? I'm making, what I do is for my community, is for myself, is for my family. So I hope so. I really do. I think also in our communities, our Black and brown communities, we don't really, we need to raise the awareness around mental health and break the stigma that if you talk about it, or if you admit it, or if you struggle with it, or you need to go to therapy, that is okay. That it's okay to not be okay. And I know that I admitted that like earlier this week that there's some things that I'm dealing with right now that I'm not okay, and I need folks to keep checking in, and they are. So tell your people, talk to whoever you need to talk to, and let them know, hey, this is really, really hard for me right now, and I might need to tap in a little bit more as I'm experiencing this, this struggle. There's a lot of things that we can do in order to address our mental health, or protect our mental health, replenish it sometimes. And I'm going to share some of those things with you after the break. I'm going to take a break real quick, and I'll be right back, San Bernardino.
KCAA.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau de Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can be truly miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com, or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com.
One of the best ways to build a healthier local economy is by shopping locally. Teamster Advantage is a shop local program started by Teamster Local 1932 that has brought together hundreds of locally owned businesses to provide discounts for residents who make shopping locally their priority. Everything from restaurants like Corky's to fun times at SB Raceway and much, much more. If you're not currently a Teamster and you want access to these local business discounts, contact Jennifer at 909-889-8377, extension 224. Give her a call. That number again is 909-889-8377, extension 224.
106.5 FM and KCAA 1050 AM.
Welcome back, San Bernardino, Inland Empire. This is Working in the Margins. I'm Shazette, and we are on KCAA TV on YouTube and KCAA Radio, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. I have to remember, it's been over almost a year, and I don't have those numbers because I have so many other things in my head. So, but that's us. So before the break, we're talking about mental health and taking care of ourselves and self-care. And I want to share some things, a few tips and tricks to maybe cope, better, or help somebody else cope better. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you're doing swimmingly fine and everything is hunky-dory for you. I wanted you to come on the show and tell me how you doing it. But something that I do every day, and I stole this. I will be completely honest and transparent because mostly I listen to Urban View on Sirius XM. That's my station. It has a lot of really good podcasters and analysts that I really like and I appreciate. And there's one lady, her name is Larry Daniels Favor, and I listen to her every morning. She is just delightful. She's really, really smart. And maybe if she hears me give her a shout out, she'll call me one day on the air. Larry Daniels Favor, my girl. She does on her show, when she opens her show, she does a moment of gratitude. And it's just like, it's a breathing exercise, and it's just that time where you're going to take some breaths and you're going to start the day with, what am I thankful for? What am I grateful for? I love that because it gets you thinking on, okay, I have all these good things. These are the things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my child being healthy and contributing and able to express himself through his talents and his gifts. I'm grateful for my job, my place of employment, the agency. It's always weird to me to say job because it's like, so I don't know, maybe my career. I'm grateful for my career because I've been doing this a really long time, of being a social service person, worker. I love helping people. I like to find more and better ways to help people. I like to bring people together. I love collaborations. I'm grateful to my community for supporting me and the work that we do. I'm grateful for my family and my friends I have friends. How old are you, Eric?
33 now.
I have friends that are older that I have been friends with for over 40 years.
Oh, that's awesome. That's the dream.
Yeah, for over 40 years. I mean, most of the folks that I know that I really like, consider friends, I've known them for over 40 years. And I'm grateful for that. I could be a person that can't keep friends. So it's good. I feel like I can. I'm not always the best friend, though, because I get real busy. I forget to check in, but charge it to my head, not my heart.
I think that's my biggest issue, too, with friends is
Yeah.
with life going on, it's hard to always
I know.
reach out.
And all of us are guilty of that.
You know what I find with my group of friends is just even sending a meme
Yes.
is a way to say, hey, I
Yes.
love you. That's my love language with my
Yes,
bros.
yes. Me too. I was like, I may not be able to get to you all the time, but I'll send you a little text or a message,
I'm going to start keeping an eye out for the memes from you now.
Yes. Because I have people, I don't know. I think I'm funny. People say I'm funny. So I think I have a good sense of humor. So I like funny memes and I send them to people sometimes because I want them to laugh too and be happy too. So I'm going to share one of my self-care because I think some of my ladies will be able to relate. It's hot, y'all. It's hot. They decided to put all of our summer in like a week. So it's been hot this week. And I know me and a lot of my sisters, we have, hair things and we got, clip-ons and we got tie-ins and things like that. And I usually have some type of clip-on or tie-in, just to give myself a little volume. But my self-care has been over the last couple of weeks or so is to buy a really cute hat that I can like dude it up. And I've been wearing hats. I wore my cowboy hat. I love cowboy hats. I wore my cowboy hats. I had some other little chapeaus. That's my self-care because I don't always want to do my hair. I don't always want to have to put that energy in to do my hair. I'll do my makeup, but sometimes the hair, I'm just like, man, I just don't want to deal with it. So I says I'm going to find a couple of good hats, and every now and again, I'm just going to give myself a break. And I'm going to wear a hat. And I put like a little cute flower on it. And I found some other things to do. So that's one of my self-care methods, I guess, tricks. Something else I've been really trying to do is get enough sleep. And sometimes it feels like I'm sleeping too much. But I don't know what that means. I feel like if your body says you're tired and you can go to sleep, go to sleep. Sleep is good. It gives you perspective, clears the mind, renews energy, so, something that, I know a lot of people do. And next week, if everything works out, I am going to have, a colleague from the agency. His name is Jose Chavez. He works with our FAM spot and with our Tay drop-in center in the high desert. But he has a program. They have a program up there called the Outdoor Equity Program. Is OEP for short. Outdoor Equity Program. And that's the program that allows us to take kids, like, they probably, like, I remember back in the day when I was little, it was like the inner city kids. They used to take us on trips. That's how I got to go to Yosemite and Sequoia and things like that. So this is like the same thing. We take them on camping trips, hiking trips, climbing trips, white water rafting. That is like the bomb. I love that. When I came here and I found out that, I was like, oh, I'm going to go. But I forget how old I am, y'all. But I love OEP. I love what it is. I love the purpose of it is to get these kids that typically wouldn't have the opportunity to get out into nature or do these things because it's not cheap. It's not cheap. Remember, support family assistance program so you can help us pay and keep these programs going. It's not cheap. But the transition in people, even some staff have gone, and it's a transition from being, you're in an office and, so spend some time in nature. I garden. My son gardens. He has a bigger garden. He's better at it than me because he's supposed to be. But I've been gardening for many years. And that is my time. I love to go out into the yard, into the garden, and see things growing and pick some peppers. And it does so much for my mental health just to be around things that are growing and flourishing and prospering. That, when everything else seems to be it's being defunded or taken away or marginalized, it being out in nature, you get to see things grow and prosper. I think I shared that I do practice deep breathing and meditation. It's good for you if you can stop. My problem is that it's hard to sit and stop for that long to do any breathing or meditation. We're always go, 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 go. But we need to. Maybe if you practice more, I'll practice more too, okay? And then, like, text me or call me and tell me what it's like for you. Engage in activities you enjoy. Yes. Find a way to keep doing things that make you happy and that you enjoy, that you get excited about. Find something. I'm always like my kid Joseph. He's into music, and that's how he expresses himself. And I can tell, like, when he's working on certain things, like what his moods are and how he, some of the things, I think he recently bought a new guitar. And I love hearing guitar music, especially like at night and when you're trying to fall asleep, because he gets in like at night, he works late. And I heard that the other night, and I was like, man, he was like in the backyard, and I was like, just about to that point where you're just about to doze off, and it's like a lullaby to sleep, and I'm like, man, that's awesome. He uses that for his mental health and his, to cope and everything. And I was like, look what he did for his mama. He helped her get a good night's sleep, so this is one I was talking to my cousin yesterday, and we're just bad about this. We're bad about this until something happens to somebody. But spend time with your loved ones. Tomorrow's not promised. We're all getting older. All those cliches are true. Spend time with your loved ones. Find the time. I'm guilty of it, and I'm going to do better about it. And I'm going to get my family to commit to do better, to spending more time with each other. Oh my goodness, this is so important to me. I feel like, so if it's important to me, it's important. Give yourself a break. Practice some self-compassion. Give yourself a break. We are so hard on ourselves. We just think that we have to do everything and be all things to all people. And we have to, our dads, they just got, they got to be the rock of the family. They have to be able to, carry the family on their shoulders and on their backs, And we don't offer a lot of support back to them. We just ask them to be the strong, man in the house, and we have to give ourselves a break. We got to, not take ourselves so seriously sometimes. We're gonna fail. Nobody's perfect. I don't know. I only know one person. He's been gone a long, long time. Just if you think about what you do in your family and what you do for your family, you are your family's everything. Even when you feel like you're struggling and you're not there, you can't do, you are your family's everything. You're keeping your kids together. You're keeping your spouse together. If you got a spouse, your friends, you're working. Please, this is for men and women. It's not, we all doing the same thing. I know a lot of dads out there. Some of the best moms out there are dads. You taking care of your kids, and you're trying to take care of yourself and taking care of another human being and checking in with them and making sure that they're mentally okay. That's hard work. When you commit to doing that, it's hard work. To take you probably sometimes don't even think that, what it takes for you to be okay. And now you have somebody else that you feel responsible for. You love them. They're your partner and you feel responsible, and then you had kids on top of that and all those little different personalities, different needs, different wants, the introvert, the extrovert, and then the kid in the middle that you just don't know what to do with. They're suffering from little middle kid syndrome, and, that's hard. This is hard work, folks. So give ourselves a break. Show some self-compassion. Take some time for self-reflection. and introspection, and find out what you need, and make sure you're getting your needs met. Because you can't pour from an empty cup. You know, you keep pouring into other folks, but you can't pour from an empty cup. Some other tips and tricks is when you're feeling overwhelmed, because I think that's what a lot of people are feeling like right now, is overwhelmed. And the way that I've decided to handle being overwhelmed is to get better organized, prioritize tasks like at work, so that I'm not feeling like I have deadlines for everything and they're all on the same day. Don't be afraid to delegate or ask for help. I have a team. I ask them for help all the time. They help me all the time. I need their input to carry my workload. So they help me. Ask for that. Delegate. Ask for it. Take breaks. We don't know how to take breaks. Take breaks throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. Take a break where you're just not doing anything but recharging. Only things to recharge you. That helps prevent burnout. And it'll help you be more productive, they say. I think the most important thing is set boundaries and setting boundaries. That's what we're terrible at as human beings, because decent folks, we always want to help, and we can't, we always want to fix things. Sometimes we let people take advantage of us, and especially in the social services, we have these different kind of hearts where we're like, you can do it, and after the 33rd time of them saying, us saying you can do it, and we find out that they just can't do it, it breaks us sometimes. It's, it's heavy on us. We feel like we failed. And we need to set healthy boundaries about what is, tangible and what is intangible, what is achievable, what is not achievable, and being honest and realistic about our shortcomings and our strengths and our weaknesses. That'll help us understand our clients more and better. So that we're not overextending ourselves past boundaries that we probably shouldn't, with trying to really help people, I think I'm going to take a break. This is going to be the last one. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back, and we're going to keep talking.
.106.5 FM and KCAA 1050 AM.
The staff and families at Yard House of Temecula takes this time out to recognize and salute the local men and women in uniform standing tall for our political and economic freedom around the world. Let's always remember them in our thoughts and prayers. Their efforts abroad and our support has kept America strong. This message courtesy of your good friends at Yard House of Temecula at 40770 Winchester Road in Temecula. They are always working to keep our community moving in a positive direction.
KCAA Loma Linda.
For several years, KCAA has been marketing the Youngevity brand of nutritional and personal care products. Our experience with Youngevity has been 100% positive, so we are pleased to recommend them to you. Regarding nutritional supplements, we recommend Pollen Burst in the berry flavor and Tangy Tangerine 2.0 in the tablet form. For regularity issues, we recommend 3-Day Cleanse, and for personal care, we recommend Morning Hydration Cream. You can shop online for Youngevity at www.kcaateam.com, or you can order by phone by calling 800-982-3197 and tell customer support that you are part of the KCAA team. Youngevity is an American company based in San Diego. Call Youngevity at 800-982-3197 and ask about monthly auto ship that allows you to buy Youngevity products at wholesale prices. That number again, 800-982-3197.
KCAA.
Where life's much better. So download the app in your smart device today. Listen everywhere and anywhere. Whether you're in Southern California, Texas, or sailing on the Gulf of Mexico, life's a breeze with KCAA. Download the app in your smart device today.
I'll be sailing out of yesterday in the Gulf of Mexico.
KCAA.
Welcome back, San Bernardino. This is Shazad at Working in the Margins on KCAA TV on YouTube. So I want to continue to talk about how we are coping, how we are dealing, handling. I listen to another podcast every morning, and he starts out his show with just a scratching and a surviving. That's how he feels. I'm just a scratching and a surviving. And I say I feel like I'm just a scratching and a surviving most days too. But here's a quick list of some things we could do to try to help us cope with life's ever-changing tide. I think I mentioned hanging out with friends and family. Write in a journal. Write these feelings down that you're going through. Read a book. Read a good book. I love to read, so I don't get to do it often, though. I'm always reading stuff for work, like city council agendas, supervisor meeting agendas, things like that. But it's good for me because I enjoy that stuff. Take deep breaths, do something you love. Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's recommending the same thing. Practice self-compassion. Spend time in nature. Listen to music. Pamper yourself. Expand your knowledge. I like that. I always feel better when I'm learning something. So it makes me feel like my brain loves to learn, I think. So it's freeing to be able to learn, especially if I can learn it and it's something new that I can like right now I want to learn how to make a sourdough bread starter. I'm just really interested in that. So, and then, last week my kid taught me how to make a brine because we have a crap ton of cucumbers. So we're pickling, and that's so fun to watch something that you grew in the yard, bring it in, and you know. So I learned how to do that. I have a pickle that he asked me the other day if I had tried it. I haven't yet, but I'm gonna bring you some pickles, okay, Eric, and you can tell us if you like. But expand your knowledge. I love that. Here's another one. I think that we could all do is, like I said, we need to stop doom scrolling, is unplug from technology. We need to do that a little bit more. I've been really trying to turn my phone off, sit it aside, not doom scroll, not post on everything that I don't like. On the, people, I feel like post stupid stuff, and I'm like, you just want me to say something, so. But we need to unplug from technology more often, because there's so much. We're just being slammed with so much. Everybody got an opinion. Everybody has a theory, a policy. Everybody wants to think for you. So unplug for a little bit. Just listen to some music, and make a schedule. People say if you stay organized, then you're not stressed out. At least you alleviate the stress of worrying about not being organized. So that's good. I like that. So I want to share something that may help too. And it's a recommendation for a book. I want people to read this book. I was introduced to this book a while ago, And when I came to Family Assistance a couple of years ago, they started to do a leadership training, and they used this book, and it's called "Who Moved My Cheese?" And I think I may have talked about this like early on last year when I started the show about who moved my cheese, and how it's so timely, and it's a metaphor. So it's by "Who Moved My Cheese" is by Spencer Johnson, and he uses cheese as a metaphor for happiness, success, and wealth. But the lesson is he's emphasizing that change is inevitable, and our response to it shapes our destiny. He uses these like little rats. I think they're rats. Sniff, Scurry, and Hem and Haw, and they're living in a maze. So it's really cute because it's like really there's a lot of imagery, which is good because people relate to imagery. But the phases of the story are there's a cheese station, and the character enjoys a stable life with abundant cheese, representing comfort and predictability, and then the cheese vanishes. And the sudden disappearance of cheese forces the characters to confront change, a metaphor for life's unexpected shifts, which is, I think, where we are right now. And then adapting to change, where Sniff and Scurry, those are the two little mice, they embrace change, finding new cheese, while Hem and Haw, I think I've been Hem or Haw mostly, initially resist, and they're highlighting the different attitudes towards change, whether you embrace it or you resist it. And then enjoying new cheese is Haw adapts finally and finds joy in change, while Hem remains stuck. And that's illustrating the difference between of embracing new opportunities or not embracing new opportunities. So the key takeaways and you got to get this book, you got to read it because it's so timely. It really will speak to our experience right now, this earthly experience, this human experience, this, experiment in democracy of the United States of America. The symbols, the key takeaways are you have to accept change to succeed. You have to adjust to new circumstances. You have to anticipate change by staying vigilant and prepared. Like I say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Face your fears to grow. Face your fears to grow. Find joy in new experiences. And monitor the changes regularly. Stay in touch. Find out what's going on. Monitor what's changing. Try new approaches to how you accept change, and learn how to reflect and grow from your experiences. Those are the key takeaways. I have always been resistant to change. I don't like it. I didn't like it. It seemed because if change was happening, it wasn't good change. It was people leaving or people dying or losing a job or something like that. But at a certain point, as an older adult, I think it was just natural. Life, there's changes. It's going to happen. And me and how I react to it is what was key on getting through it. And I think I learned this lesson when I was going through cancer treatment, the couple of times that I had to. I could sit there and say, why me? Why this? Why that? That my healthy perspective that I chose at that time was, why not me? And I have a big mouth, and I want to go out there and I'm going to champion breast cancer research, survivorship, thriving with breast cancer, living well after breast cancer. And so why not me? It was I felt like it was an acorn drop on the head. And it wasn't that the sky was falling. It was saying that I felt that I needed to be more aware of things. And I know some people were like, well, you don't need that experience to learn how to do that. I did. And I'm better for it. I'm better for it. I have supported many women through their journey of breast cancer, and many women will tell you that I was a part of their journey because I was able to help them, or they heard my story, or I shared something with them. So I'm better for it. I'm proud of it. I'm still here, so you got to let go of the past sometimes and just keep moving forward, and take these experiences. I'm in an age group right now where I'm like the senior. I am a senior because somebody said that Denny's is like 55. You could get food for free at Denny's for 55, the discount. So I'm a senior. I'm 58. So I'm a senior, and it's part of it. But I'm also blessed to be a part of this group of my age folks that have a lot of experience to impart. We've walked through some things. I'm part of a generation that we drank out of the water hose. We didn't have to come in until the lights came on. We could, we used to be all over to miles from home on bikes, miles. And I guess our parents, we didn't have cell phones. Y'all. We didn't even have pagers or nothing. We just came. Your parents knew you was okay when you came in the house before the street lights came on. That's how they knew you was okay. So I'm a part of this group, and I'm proud of it, that we can impart, some lessons, some fun lessons, some learned lessons. I don't worry about what people think about me too much anymore. I remember that was a big thing, like in my 30s. I don't, you get a lot of perspective at this age about life and change. I know I was talking to a friend and I said, you know what, I'm losing people. It's sad, but everybody's getting older, so it's supposed to be expected, but it's still not, it still catches you, and it's just, because it's, it catches me. And I say, but I think what is better now is the recovery time. And still, I didn't work after my mom passed for like 6 months. I couldn't go. I needed that time. And then my dad passed back in November. And I'm still struggling. My patience is different. So I'm still struggling with it this month. It'll be a year this coming Thanksgiving, and I think about that. I'm like, everybody's different. And when I say that the time period for recovery from mourning, or you never recover from it, but you just understand at this age, when you're older, that life just goes on. It has to go on, and you just need to wrap your arms around the folks that are, that are left behind, and, and take care of yourself, and, be compassionate to yourself. And show self-care, take self-care, please. I'm telling folks, the stuff that we're crashing out about, I hear these kids saying, I'm crashing out. The things that we're crashing out about, there's a lot more that we could be, there's a lot more out there that I feel that we should be really careful about what we are crashing out about. And is it worth crashing out about? Maybe we don't do that. Maybe we look for solutions. Maybe we look for partners to help us come along and collaborate for solutions. And it's just not, I give up because it's just too hard and it's just, it's unwinnable. No, take up the mantle. That's self-care too. If you have an energy that is like mine, resisting, you want to resist, and you want to protest, you find a way to do that safely. Find a way to do it safely. Find a platform. Call KCAA, call Mark Westwood, tell him you want to show. and you want to come on and you want to talk about, things that we need to be, resisting, protesting, there's a lot out there that we should be advocating for, folks. Education, social services, LGBTQ community, human rights, human basic rights, unlawful immigration practices, kidnapping folks off the street, separating families. There's a lot out there. The defunding of our programs that take care of our most vulnerable people. How we treat our workers. How we treat our workers. How we treat our workers, our neighbors that want to work and can go to work, who are just being torn apart. Their communities are being torn apart. Kids are going back to school right now. And I worry about those families that are afraid to send their kids back to school. Not enough cities have taken up the oath of, not allowing ICE to come on to their, come into their cities. So if self-care is protest and advocacy and resisting, find a way to do it. And then text me and tell me, or call me and tell me how you did it. Follow me on my socials at Working in the Margins, hashtag Working in the Margins with Z. Hit me up on my Facebook, my Instagram, and tell me how you getting through, how you coping, what you doing out there, people, to take care of yourselves. So please take care of yourselves. I care about folks and their mental health and making sure that everybody gets through this, because there's a lot of life to be lived. So thank you for tuning in. I'll be here next week. I look forward to it. You have a great weekend. San Bernardino Inland Empire.